What's up, guys? Happy 4th of July weekend. I'm very excited to tell you guys the sales I got today. We don't have a lot of sales. Summer slowdown hits us all. I had a couple slower sales days, not like end of the world stuff because it bounces back. That's usually how it goes. But we have about $1,000 to pack up. It's like 38 items, so right around the same average that I sell all the time. We're back on the iMac. This is the iMac that I had the glitches last time. Well, it's back up to its original specs that I had it like beefed up to. But I will let you know, I ordered the MacBook Pro. It was like a lot of money, but it's coming in the middle of July. So excited for that. I may do like a bit of an unboxing presentation of it. And yeah, we've got the clothing rack that's got no clothes on it. And then we got the screenshot you guys saw, or not screenshot, but the photo of the thumbnail. That was all the stuff that I got in this big clothing haul. And I'm going to talk to you guys about like how I went through it. It was, a woman customer had called. She had gotten my card from another company and she said, "Hey, I got all these clothes for my husband. He passed." And I didn't film anything. I wasn't going to do a video about like that because it's too close to home, too emotional. And but I do want to tell you like how to handle that many items and how to decide how much to pay somebody for something like that, and then what to do with it afterwards. So we'll get into all that later. I do want to mention GyroPack. That's the company I'm working with. If you guys want nice colorful poly mailers, go ahead and check the link down below. Taylor 10 gets you 10% off. And I can tell you this, before the 10%, they're the cheapest poly mailers on the market. You don't have to go to Amazon or eBay. It's direct to the site. I got the link down there. Brian Roning, he's in the chat. He's a big clothing seller. He actually put a video about condensing down his box system, similar to mine and Daily Refinements, the way that everyone's been doing it. So check out his video. But yeah, the poly mailers, he told me, dude, these are like legit poly mailers. These colored ones have like reinforced plastic so it doesn't stick to your fingers like the rest of them. They just fall right in the trash. So go ahead and check that out. A lot of people had ordered, and I'm hoping that they get them soon and they enjoy it. I think a lot of people did get them, so that's really cool. Inglewood Deal says, "Man, one day I'll be like him." Haha, just kidding. I'm part-time, but I love seeing these sales he makes. Yeah, dude. Hey, I was part-time for a long time too. I ran my full-time job, ran eBay part-time, and had a lot of headaches along the way, but now I have caught up, and now I want to share so you guys don't have to have as many headaches as I did. Flip It Good, what's up, man? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you. Thank you for coming in. Paulina, or Pamela, I said Paulina. Pamela Len says, "Hello, Brian and Inglewood. What's up?" To those guys, good morning, good afternoon. Smash the like button. Yes, smash the like button. 18 people already in the chat. 3 minutes in, 3 likes. Very, very nice. Steve says, "Good afternoon from San Antone." What's up, man? Riverwalk. If you guys never been to San Antonio, that's a great attraction. It's a cool city. It's a very cool city. Mama Bear Stuff says, "Hey, Sean, happy Sunday." Happy Sunday to you. All right, so let's get into straight into the orders. The first one coming up is a Under Armour. This is a 2XL short sleeve polo, sold for $19 shipped. Under Armour's plain colors, big sizes is what we like. They always do pretty well. But yeah, so the clothing haul, I get a lot of calls now with people who I don't know the numbers. They just call and they say, "Hey, I found your card. So-and-so told me about your card. You're the buy, sell, trade guy, right?" And I'm like, "Yes, that's me." So it was actually a consignment store that she got my number from. And that is a big little hack for you guys. So I would suggest making some business cards. I'm not sponsored with Vistaprint, but that's where I made mine. They're pretty cheap. I would spend a little bit more like to get the better textured ones just because it sets your card apart. Let's be honest. I mean, you don't have to do like, American Psycho when he pays $50 per card and he like knows everything about the card. It's not like that, but I can tell you paying like $10 more for the pack is going to, it's going to set you apart a little bit and pass them out to people. Go to garage sales, say, "Hey, here's my business card. I buy XYZ. I'm a reseller." Just tell them what you do because you never know who's going to call back. I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. There we go. Anyway, so she called me yesterday. She said, "Hey, my husband, he passed away, unfortunately, back, some time ago. And, she knew that he had some good stuff and she didn't want to just donate it right off the rip. She let her kids go through it and everything, and they all picked some stuff that they wanted. And then I met her over there, and I made the appointment for the next day because you don't want to let things like that like hang on too long because then people forget. People end up getting things. You may get busy with some other stuff. This is a Polo Ralph Lauren. Now I put color block. I put striped, but these are actually the color blocks. Color blocks are like when it's bigger sections of color, I think. Anyway, it sold for $13.67 plus $8.99. It's just a green and oh no, it's a green and white one. So I have a change address. Now this happens usually whenever it's somebody who doesn't put the correct address in the shipping label. It's like a red little exclamation point, and looks like they added some extra characters or something. So I'm just gonna, it's a little risky, but I just delete like the little part, and I'll tell you what I deleted. It said ELS space C like /O. So I don't know what that little thing means, but once I delete it, it shows the guy's name or whatever, and then his address is correct. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and save that, and hopefully this gets to the gentleman. I think it will. I don't know if you guys have ever come across that. It happens occasionally. Typically, it's either somebody in like, not like a third world country, but somebody who's not like used to how to do addresses, because in different countries, they have different formats for addresses. So sometimes they have a mailing address in the States, but they actually get shipped overseas. There's people like that. I know my cousins in Panama, they have a address in Florida that's part of a shipping company, and they get stuff shipped. Man, it's super dark. Let me get a little brighter. I feel like a vampire right now. Oh no, I went the wrong way. Yeah, that's a little better. I've got the lights. These Trojan lights are like really good, but I can't find the remote. I can't find the remote. So like you can't use them without the remote. And that's like a huge problem. Anyway, the Ralph Lauren sells. Somebody, it was a viewer, he messaged me on Instagram and said, hey, how do you determine which Ralph Lauren, like Polo Ralph Laurens to buy? And he asked if I had a video on it. You know, I'm not an expert. I mean, I sell a lot of Ralph Lauren, but I find them really cheap. I told him most of them under $5. I'm pretty confident in buying to sell for a minimum of 20 shipped. But there's definitely some that go for a lot more money. Purple label's the highest one. I've only found one of those shirts, and I listed it really high. And then they have the black label that actually is discontinued, and then they have like their vintage stuff. But when it comes to like digging into brands, this is the advice I told them, and I'll tell you guys just because maybe it can come in handy for you too. So, oh, Flava Davo 5 says that was me. Yeah, and Brian says he hates it. Yeah, okay. Steve says CO means in care of. Okay, so yeah, that's what that guy put, but it's not an address. So he should have put that in the notes section, I think, of the address. But they'll be taken care of. They'll be taken care of. So the advice that I gave the gentleman was you can go to eBay. You can type in Polo Ralph Lauren long sleeve button shirt men's used, right? Then you filter to solds, and then just go from high to low, and then start going down and see if you notice any patterns of styles, of colors, of label like tags. And then you can narrow down that search. You can put black or blue or purple or striped or plaid, and just start like analyzing and try to see any type of pattern. Now, I don't do this. I need to do this kind of stuff, but that is a way to start understanding where the money is in these brands, because you can see the data there. Now, it does take some time, but you know, the more you do that, the more you'll just be accustomed to seeing where the money is in these brands. And you can do that to find brands too. Not just investigating one brand, but finding others. So this is a pair of REI convertible pants, and they went for like 22 shipped. They're gray pants, 22, 23 shipped. So REI is pretty good with that. A lot of the convertible pants, you know, they do decently well. The Columbia PFGs do well. This is a Carhartt long sleeve button shirt. Did not go for much money. It went for like 16 shipped. I wonder if there's a flaw on it or something. But Carhartt's one of those brands that you kind of gotta be careful. Don't pay like too much. But yeah. So what are the 4th of July plans? What do you guys have in store? It's weird because it falls on a Tuesday this year. So I think the post office is open Monday, but then Tuesday they're closed. A lot of businesses took the whole week, you know, until Wednesday, and then some businesses open on Monday. So I don't know how the thrift stores are running it. Usually on Monday, there's only like 2 thrift stores open in my town, which there's only like 3 or 4. And so I don't know. And then another thing is the thrift giants. Those are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area where I thrift a lot. They're having half off days on 4th of July, which means that it's great. But the lines are super long. The stores get wrecked. I went for I think it was Mother's Day. I think I went for that or Father's Day. One of those days I went, and I cleaned up pretty good. But my wife is she's a health inspector, so she's on call this month, and that means that if there's any temporary events, like people are doing hot dogs or hamburgers, she has to go out and like inspect to make sure they're following best practices, things like that. So that means if there's an emergency and I'm out of town, I have to like take care of my son, and then she can't get pulled off or whatever. So I have to change up my sourcing a little bit. I have to call in some assistance from some family to like watch my son occasionally, you know. But we'll be all right. This is a really pretty shirt. The reason I say that is because the brand is Thomas Dean. Thomas Dean, you guys might have seen, they do a lot of like the sports stuff, like college sports will be like Thomas Dean will be the label, and it'll have like an embroidered UT or, you know, Oklahoma, you know, Sooners or whatever. This shirt was cool enough though that I decided to buy it, and it didn't sell for much money. It was $9 plus, you know, $9 shipping. So $18 shipped on this. However, I would never really pick this brand up unless it was like that, because it might not sell. It's not a strong item to pick up. But if something's that cool looking in the thrift store, like if it catches your eye on the rack, definitely give it a look. There was one of the button-up shirts that I picked up in that haul had like these really nice pastel stripes, and I could tell it was an old shirt, and I was just like, dude, it was like the one shirt in the closet that I was like, that shirt's definitely going to be a winner, whether it's a great brand or not. It had the crazy look. And a lot of times on eBay, the crazier stuff is actually what does well, you know, and maybe that's because it sticks out on the page when people are looking for a shirt. So Eat Sleep Thrift says, what do you think of the new AI feature eBay offers for descriptions? I haven't looked at it. I think I heard somebody talk about it, but I've not looked into it. What does it do exactly? Is it like, does it guess the description or like fill out a description based off the title? So what I was doing when ChatGPT first came out, I thought about like, you know, you type in a description or a brand or something, and then go to ChatGPT and say, write me an eBay description for this item. And then you just copy and paste that into the item. But I don't sell hard goods, so it didn't make much sense. But I thought about selling that as a service to people. But it obviously is getting caught up where the companies are just doing it themselves, which makes sense. But I'm always thinking of ways to like make like money, I guess. But yeah, that's it's a cool thing. I've never used it, but AI is definitely it's good to know how to use it now, so that because it's not going to go away. You know, it's only going to get more ingrained into society. So this is an RLX Ralph Lauren. It's a men's medium pink. It did have a mark on it, sold for $18 shipped, and that usually does a lot better. The RLX stuff is their performance line for like golf and stuff, but that's okay. You just got to get it sold. The Ground Advantage looks like it's coming soon, so I'm pretty excited about that. Hopefully it's affordable, not crazy expensive, because I ship almost everything under a pound, it seems like. That's why I got to use these poly mailers. So it's a change, man. Things change all the time. Here is a Prana. This is a plaid short sleeve shirt, and it sold for $20 shipped. It's a size 2XL. It's gonna be right here. Went for 8 ounces. Pretty good. Yeah, my dad did shish kebabs yesterday. I put a little thing on my Instagram. It's probably still up. I only do the stories on those. Sometimes I do reels, but I did the stories if you guys want to check it out. And they were delicious. He had like, I forgot what part of the steak that he had on there. He had chicken, pineapple, peppers, onions, and I don't eat shrimp. I'm actually deathly allergic to shrimp. So if you want to poison me at a restaurant, just rub some shrimp on my burger or whatever. Then I'll have some serious problems. So everyone else got shrimp though, and he made sure to like make mine separate on the did the grilled mine first and made sure it was free of shrimp, and I didn't get any breakout or hives or whatever. So Really appreciate my dad. He loves grilling and stuff, so we go over there to hang out. And he's cooking again today, so we're gonna go over there back to back. There is some stuff in town that's going on. I think my wife said there's a parade on the 4th, so maybe going to a parade with the boy, and that'll be fun. It's just so hot here. It's like, I don't know how hot it is where you guys are at, but it is brutal out there. So this is a Wrangler Pearl Snap. It just went for what is it? $8.20 plus $8.99, so like $17.80 or something. Pearl Snaps do really well. So I ended up paying, I think I got 26 items from that haul. Now I got like a pair of Tony Lama boots. I got 2 pairs of Justin boots. I got maybe 8 Polo Ralph Lauren's, some other like mid-tier brands, some like Wrangler cargo camo shorts. I think I got 2 of those. So 26 items, and I paid $100 for the 26. And then she said, some of the stuff, like there's a lot of suits, and I don't do suits at all. And I kind of looked up some of the brands. They were kind of like off the rack stuff. So, you know, suits have a low sell-through rate unless you're getting like the really expensive stuff. But even them, they sell a little slow. So she did ask, she goes, well, if you don't mind, could you take it to this thrift store for the donations or whatever? It's the Faith Mission, which is, in my opinion, the best place to donate things in this town. So I said, yeah, I don't mind doing that. And she said, you know, and you can just do whatever you want with them. So what I'm going to do is probably see if like my employee, she has, you know, a dad and like a boyfriend, if they want any of the items. And then I may look at some of them at zero cost of goods to try to sell. But a lot of them were just like Kohl's. You're talking like some worn out Dockers, some like worn out dress shirts, just some brands, you know, like just brands that aren't stuff that I pick up to sell. And then I may keep some of the hangers if I want to use them for my store, and then I'm just going to donate to the place that she wanted. So the thing about it is, it was an entire wardrobe, right? So I mean, there was piles on the bed, there was piles there's like the closet was loaded, the shoes were everywhere. So what I did was I treated it like a thrift store, and I went through each brand because I want to provide the most money I could for her. And I feel like I did, you know, and the other thing to think about is like a lot of these people. Like they're really well off. So like handing her $100 is like handing somebody like $5 to $10. Like it's not a lot of money for these people, which that's just what happens when you start making more money. Like, so it's not really about that. What it's more about is you're moving all the stuff out of there. So that's a huge task, you know? And then also she's kind of finally getting away from like having to look at all that stuff. And it got a little emotional. And that's why I wasn't going to record anything like that. I would never do that. But it was definitely a good thing for me, a good thing for her. And then, you know, it's just, you got to kind of like, you know, you got to be respectful whenever you do those kind of deals, because it's a very intimate thing, you know, like an estate sale, kind of when the estate sale people are there. That's pretty much kind of how it was in a way. So Beatrice says, good afternoon, Sean. Great sales. Thank you. I did decent. Like usually I average I guess the average would be $500 a day in sales. I had 2 days in the last 4 days that were 350, between 320 and 360. And to me, that's a bad day. I know that's not a bad day for a lot of people, but for me, that is. And I don't know, it just happens, right? Like maybe people were out shooting off fireworks and not buying clothes, but it's okay. We'll get it back. Eat Sleep Thrift says, yeah, they really go into a lot of detail describing your items that you're selling. He's talking about the AI stuff. Yeah, okay, that's good. I mean, I can imagine that being good, but I do know a lot of people don't read. So I don't see people actually sitting and reading a whole page of stuff. But I bet you that's really good for items that you don't know much about, you know? Because when I was selling hard goods, there was plenty of stuff I knew nothing about that I was trying to sell. And, you know, AI can help with that. This is Raptor C. Now, Raptor C is a Western brand. They do pearl snaps, long sleeve, short sleeves. This was the short sleeve plaid. It went for $12 plus $8.99, so $21 shipped. Raptor C, I'm not sure if there's another brand like name in eBay for it, but it doesn't show up when you type in the brand. You actually have to hit the plus to add it. And I do that each time. So maybe I do need to do a little dive into like Raptor C and figure out if it's like broken off of another brand or something. But they sell decently well. They have some paisleys. They have some nice stuff. Sometimes the sell-through, like when you're looking up the data, shows it being not very strong. But I can tell you it's decently strong. for, $5 or less, I usually pick it up if it's a good size, good condition, good color. If it's over that, then I really have to be more choosy with it. Man, I'm about to go through these labels. Like I think I bought 2,000 labels, and this box is almost gone. Crazy. Here's a pair of chino shorts. These are actually Patagonia. I really tried to fit these, and I wore them for a little while, and they're just too short. I'm not that kind of guy that wears the short shorts. Like, can't do it. They went for $24 shipped, so I definitely accepted an offer on this one. I had them closer to like 30 plus shipping, but the offer came in, and I was like, yeah, let's do it, man. Enjoy the shorts, not trying to hold out for all the money on this stuff. I do put organic cotton whenever it says organic cotton for the Patagonia. I think that's something people are into. Got this orange shirt. I don't know what this is. Let's see. Yeah. Any pyromaniacs in the chat? I know in like junior high age, I was definitely into it. We would go to the lake, and my dad would drop like hundreds on fireworks, and I'd be saving up my money trying to buy like some M60s or M80s, whatever they are. And yeah, I love them, man. I don't like them anymore. Doesn't really do much for me. Okay, this is Zegna Sport. Zegna is a pretty good brand, if you guys don't know. This shirt didn't sell for much. It's just an orange polo, kind of faded out. It went for $20 shipped. But I did pick up, I think it was 6 Zegna jeans, or Megliano, however you say that. Yeah, I picked up 6 jeans, and I've never even seen their jeans before. I've definitely seen their slacks. If you guys go through the slack section, which my strategy on the slack section, I'll tell with you 43 people, just because 11 of you have hit the like button. I like to look first for the cargo, see if any cargo pants are in the slack section, because those are like hiking pants most likely, or the convertible pants. And then it takes some time to avoid like the Dockers to get your eyes to train on the better ones. But anything that has a little bit of a softness to it, that's not polyester type soft, but like silk or linen, especially if it's wrinkled, I look for that because that's usually a linen pant. Those are the best ones to get, in my opinion, in the slack section. But yeah, you'll definitely find Zegna in the slack section if you look. Sometimes there's marks on them, but I've sold them with stains, if it's not that bad. But yeah, Zegna is a great brand. Their suits go for a lot of money too. I was looking them up today. Okay. Speaking of linen, we've got a Peter Millar linen blend shirt. This is a pink shirt. Let's see. Linen blend, silk blend, and like a brand name. I was going to say brand name. It's going to be pretty good. This one went for 15 plus shipping. A lot of people pass on the linen just because it's wrinkled for some reason, like casual shoppers, even thrift store pricers that price individually at the store. They'll look at it and see wrinkled, and they're like, nah, I don't want to. I don't think it's going to sell for a lot of money. But yeah, $24 shipped is pretty solid. It's real lightweight. Let's see. I got this shirt too. Okay, this is it's a shirt. I sold a pair of golf pants today. That's kind of rare. Let's see. Okay, this is 7 Diamonds. Now, 7 Diamonds, in my opinion, is mid-tier to low. And this was an XL green and white plaid, and it sold for $20 ship. So 7 Diamonds is it. I don't know if it's fast fashion. I'm not sure if it is or not, but it's one of those brands that look nice, but isn't like a quality like brand, like not a long term, like hasn't been around that long. But you can still make some money on this stuff. I do decently well. I try not to spend more than $3 on 7 Diamonds, just because it's not super strong. But they have nice looking stuff. Definitely sold my fair share of them. Let's see. But yeah, man, I'm so excited to eat. I had lunch, but it was kind of a light lunch mixed with like trail mix and a cheese stick. And I got some strawberries yesterday. I don't know if you guys are big onto strawberries, but when you get them and they taste perfect, there's not much better than like the perfect strawberry. Oops. So we also have this sweet, awesome shirt. I think I put this on my Instagram. This is a Wrangler like vintage Aztec in purple. And I had it priced pretty high, but I took an offer of $30. So it went for $38.99. And, you know, I had it like this 50, 60 range, but, you know, $30 plus shipping on a shirt. Like, it's pretty good, you know. Let's see. Sleepy Endeavors. Oh, no, Sleepless Endeavors. That makes more sense. Sleepless Endeavors has a question. It says, ever pick up sleeping bags? I've been finding military grade sleeping bags a lot lately for some reason. Been going for $100 to $200 each. Wow. No, I've never picked up a sleeping bag to sell. That's pretty great, man. I know that stuff's really good quality. I know they have what do they call it? They have a thing called an Arctic sleeping bag. And what the Arctic sleeping bags is, it's like an oversized sleeping bag that you put another sleeping bag inside. So you have your main sleeping bag and then you put the Arctic one, like you double sleeping bag. So those absolutely can go for a lot of money. Cause I just know they're good quality, but that's crazy, man. You got to be a little careful with the military stuff because you can't sell current issued military uniform or gear. That's the thing. But I don't know if they can identify sleeping bags as easily. I would just be aware. You could put like as a collectible or something, probably be fine. Here is a Ralph Lauren. This is like the vintage label. It's like the rectangle that's blue with the white lettering. It went for $12 plus $8.99, so $21 shipped. Just a blue striped shirt on this one. So, my nose. Ben, what's up, man? You put a little like pink high in there. Very cool. Let's pack this up. Yeah, my wife and son are with the great grandpa on her side. So he's got some classic cars and like a shop and stuff. So they're hanging out there. I just hope they don't like have my son wrenching on cars. He's way too young for that. He's 7 months. He's able to sit on his own though. So maybe they got him sitting in one of the cars. That'd be kind of nice. Nice little photo op for the boy. Yeah, he's loving it. He is loving life. Just really nice to see. All right. But yeah, so big clothing hauls are good. It's just you don't want to spend too much time. I ended up spending an hour there, you know, and that was including loading all the stuff in my car. But you don't want to go in there and look at all the stuff and just be like, all right, I'll just give you this for all of it and then load it up and leave. Like I think some situations you have to spend a little bit more time, kind of get to know the people just a little bit to make sure the deal goes proper. This next shirt is a women's shirt. I do sell a few women's items. Usually it's stuff that I get for free. And this one is Cupio cap. Or no, it's called Cupio is the brand, but it's a cap sleeve shirt. It went for $14 shipped. So with zero cost of goods, $14 shipped. It's just a gray cap sleeve women's shirt. There's something to be said, and Bo Johnson is big on this because he's getting stuff for super cheap. And it's like, if you get something for a quarter or less, like 0 cents to 25 cents, selling for 14 shipped it's pretty good. If you can do a lot of them, I mean, you can make a good deal of money. So it's just a matter of acquiring all that stuff for so cheap and figuring out how to do that, which there are ways to do it, but it's usually a pretty tough endeavor. Ben says, how is the employee situation working out? The employee situation is amazing right now. Randy is my star employee. She's my only employee. So she was employed the last 2 months in a row. I should tell her that the next time I see her. Be like, hey, her birthday was on the 1st. So I gave her a little bonus for her birthday and I gave her a little bonus for 4th of July. So the only thing about Randy is she makes more money at her other job and she gets more hours there. So I try to do whatever I can to make sure she's enjoying work. And she can only work like so many hours a week. So like sometimes it's 10 hours, sometimes it's 16 hours. Next week, her manager at her store is like leaving for vacation. So she's got to pick up shifts. So she can only work 1 8-hour shift next week. So that means, should I get a second part-time employee? That's a possibility. Have them do photos. Pretty much she does photos, but she also ships items for me during the week that she works. So I'll pick the items while she calls out the number. It goes really fast because she can't reach the top shelf of my inventory without getting the step stool, and I don't want her falling or anything. And then she packs them up, and while she packs them up, I usually do like a little bit of weights or something in the gym or whatever. Just eat breakfast sometimes while she's doing that. And yeah, it's going really well, man. She's one of the cooler people I've ever encountered to work with. So this is the it's not Digicam. I always forget the name of this camel. Multicam, I guess. And this one went for $30 shipped. So that was a good sale here. I usually pick these up for $5 or less if I see them. Let's see. Steve says, picked up a pair of board shorts at the thrift store on Wednesday. Got home and I was processing them, and you found 2 $5 bills in the pocket. What? Hasn't happened in a long while, so it was kind of fun. Oh man, that's the most fun. I love finding some cash in the shorts and mainly the jeans, really. Yeah, dude. Heck yeah, righteous bucks, dude. Did you go back to the thrift store and give it back? Tell them like, hey, I found this in some pants. You can find the guy who donated it. Because you would never see that $10 again. He says no. Yeah. Rummage for Riches, what's up? I haven't worn your shirt, but I see it in my drawer, and I think about wearing the shirt you sent me. You said shared your channel yesterday with an older gentleman, probably in his 60s, that just started on eBay. Oh, cool. That's cool. Yeah, tell him to come on if he knows how to get on the chats and stuff, or ask me some questions. I'd love to help. Bam. All right. So we got a Wrangler Pearl Snap coming up. Here we go. And this is a 2XLT. 2XLT Wrangler Pearl Snap went for $14.40 plus $8.99 shipping. So tremendous value on the Wrangler 2XLT. Ben says, did you increase your daily listings to accommodate the extra cost? I did initially, slightly. However, it's always getting items. That's always the thing. The crux of my business, the bottleneck, is getting enough items. Now, that's why I did the buy sell trade store, to get more deals like you saw on the thumbnail for this one. I had mentioned, I got a bunch of stuff. It was like going to a thrift store and spending an hour and getting 26 solid items. And then I got a bunch of other items that I'm going to donate and kind of go through just in case there's a little bit of profit. But a lot of the brands aren't very strong. So I'm not able to increase my listing to like 40 or 50. I could probably do 35 or 40 a couple days a week, but I've been actually dialing it back to 30 a day. And I'm spending my additional free time building up my content. So I have a few other ways. I kind of mentioned it in my last video, which nobody watched, but I mean, people watched it, but not very many. I have ways that I make money in other areas. YouTube, is one of them. The Amazon Influencer Program is another one. And then, like affiliate deals and things like that I'm still learning about. So that's kind of where I've been putting the rest of my time to make up for the money to pay Randy. However, the way I see it is eBay makes, whatever amount of money per year. If I can make enough money to pay Randy full-time doing other things, then I'll feel confident offering her a full-time position. But if I'm not there yet, then I don't want to take a pay cut on like my eBay money to really bring her on full-time. So it's very difficult to get to that amount of money unless you have more stuff to sell or more ways to make money. So it's definitely a learning process for me, and it's something I'm going to be working on for the next year or two, for sure. Simon says, hello, greetings from Switzerland. Welcome. What time is it there? Is it there on the other side of the world? Do people ever say Swaziland, or is that like disrespectful? I don't know if it is. I just feel like I've heard that in movies. Switzerland, man. Very cool. Very cool. I wonder what it looks like there. Viking country, right? No, maybe. PK Zink says Sunday afternoon, lunch, Taylor Exchange, what's sold live? It's all good. Dude, excellent, man. That's what we're talking about. Things will be changing. It's July 2nd, but come football season, I won't be on Sundays. I'll be on Saturdays. I will still do the weekly live on Saturdays once football season starts, but we're still a little bit of ways away. This is a Under Armour Oklahoma State. It's just a black hoodie, but Oklahoma State. Now, this was actually a customer that came in to bring clothes. He brought probably 40 items, and most of them were bad. This was probably the best one he brought in, and he wanted me to pull items from my store to like trade or buy. So he ended up getting, I think, 3 Under Armour like golf polos that weren't really selling. They had old SKUs on them, and then I got 9 items from him that I could list. And he did the same thing where he gave me all of them. Only 9 of them were sellable on eBay, and the rest of them I donated. So I traded 3 shirts for 9, and then I had to do all the listings and photos. But this one sold for $19.99 plus $8.99, so like almost $30 on this. I think I'm gonna have to put it in this legal flat rate unless the person's close to Texas. Let's see. He's in Indiana, so we're definitely gonna have to go with this flat rate mailer. Okay, but yeah. Oh, there we go. Ben says Swaziland's a country in South Africa. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. All right. And is it Swahili's the language? Is that right? Okay. So DMNC says, do you use cardboard flat rate envelopes a lot? I have a hard time to use it. Like sometimes it's hard to close. Yeah, I'm actually having a little bit of issue right here. So the best thing you could do is kind of roll it in. And what I mean by that is you tuck this. Well, hello. Hang on. The little one's here. Hello.
Say hi.
Say hi. Say happy 4th of July. Woohoo. Hey, give me my finger back. Give me my finger back. That's my wife and son, Stephanie and Seth. We are the 3 S's. Stephanie, Seth, and Sean. Very good to see him. Okay. So you have a hard time closing them. And then Simon says it's 8:36 p.m. Whew. Okay. So hard to close, right? This is definitely hard to close. It's not for the faint of fingers to close. So I grab it like this and I just roll it down. And then in the middle, I pull the middle up like this. And when the middle's pulled up, I put my hand over the middle, kind of like this. And then I roll this side in. And then I like squeeze it down here. And I do the same on this side. And then it looks like this. So what you do, though, you still hold the pressure. And you pull the adhesive off of one end. And tape it down. And then just pull like the other end. See? And then I always put one piece of tape across the seam to make sure it doesn't pop open, which it shouldn't. There we go. Okay, so Simon says you said it right. Switzerland. Inglewood Deal says that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it, man. And you can do shoes like Converse and things. You can put them in this envelope as well. Same concept. Just have to have the tough fingers, you know. All right. There we go. We have a vintage Ralph Lauren long sleeve button shirt. It's got a bit of a different pattern, different color. The colors just seem a little more dull than like some of the other ones. That's a little bit different. I'll jump back to your question, Zink. Inglewood was talking about, have you ever had complaints putting shoes in there? No. I've never had a complaint on packing from a customer. Never. I'm going to close this a little bit. There. Okay. Okay. here's what's going to happen. The MacBook Pro I ordered is coming July like 16th or something. And I can use my iPhone 14 as a webcam. So the camera is going to be much better. And then once that camera's there, I'm going to really figure out the lights, because lights can bring it so clear, but like it's mainly the camera that brings the clarity for the lives. Because you can see my YouTube videos look a lot better than the lives, and that's because of the camera. PK Zink says, we just got a big box of legal flat rate envelopes to start using. Been in love with the smaller $7.60. They're lifesavers. We usually paid an extra $3 in postage each time. Yeah, absolutely. I know it, man. I know it. You got to do those things to save the little bit of money, especially if you're working small margins like my business model. You have to do anything you can to save. And that's one of the reasons why I partnered with GyroPack. Like, I'm so surprised they reached out to me, but like they have like for 1,000 poly mailers, I was paying $69.99 from Amazon. I think it's Shop for Mailers. They have it for $59.99 for 1,000 mailers. And if you use Taylor 10, you get 10% off. So like that's a tremendous amount of money saved, man. It's like really, you go direct to the site. Just make sure to use my link if you want to help the channel out. But yeah, I'm going to definitely be working with them, and you can get different colors. Like I would get, I told him, I said, send me all the colors. I want all the colors. So we'll see what happens when I get that shipment in. But yeah, you got to save money, man. Cut the cost. Like honestly, I use these white bags, right? These are for the filing system. If there was a way to file without using the bags, you save money on the bags. Now, I don't think that's that big of an expense. And I also think it gives the buyer a sense of like, I'm going through 2 layers to get through the close. So even though this is a used shirt I paid $20 for, there's some bit of care and some bit of like not unraveling, but unwrapping in a sense, you know, like if you buy a new shirt, you pop the tags, you got this, you know, smells good or whatever. Here, you're just like, oh, there's a bag inside of a bag. So like, that's a little bit of a thing that I don't mind paying for, but you know, if you're strapped for cash, don't buy the bags. Just like sell it without the bag, save you the little bit of cost. And yeah, eventually, you know, you just make more money and then you can kind of change the ways you do it. But yeah, so this is a vintage Ralph Lauren, his long sleeve plaid shirt, button shirt. It went for $13.76 plus shipping, so 9. So you're looking at like $22.66. Anthony Rivers says, do you play fantasy football or are you just a diehard Bears fan and watch just them? Lions fan here that plays fantasy football because I have to root for others too, being the Lions fan that I am. So seems like you've given up on the Lions. I think they're going to be strong this year. But no, I don't play fantasy football. My brother is a trader, much like yourself, who roots for other players and other teams. But no, I don't even know if diehard's the right word, but like the Chicago Bears and their success weighs heavily on my mood throughout the week, you know. But no, I just watch the Bears. I think football is one of the most tremendous sports. I played growing up. I played freshman year in high school. I was the quarterback for the B team, which we had four teams at our high school. And it was cool, man. Calling audibles, like calling the shot. It's a great thing. You got to have different size people to do different tasks. And then you have to be able to work together, or someone could get really hurt, you know? So like, and it's just a bit of that, like almost like a battlefield, like warrior type mentality that you got to have. And I think it's great. You know, the CTE things is one thing, but I turned out all right. But no, I definitely quit because I felt like I was too small and I was afraid of getting destroyed by people. So I played baseball after that. And then, obviously didn't go play in college, but we can move on from that. Maybe my son will be an athlete. Hopefully he becomes like a scholarship athlete would be cool. Inglewood Deal says the complaints now. No complaints on packing. DMNC says, okay, I will try. I switched to padded envelopes, but the shipping cost is a little higher, but it's just easier to pack. Yeah, so you're paying for the convenience on the packing with the bubble stuff, but like, you know, I mean, what is it, like 50 cents different, or is it like close to $1 difference if you can fit it in the smaller envelope? So that adds up if you're doing like 30 a day, you know. But most of them are under £1. So here's a Ralph Lauren. This is the pink plaid. I think pink does pretty well in Ralph Lauren. I sell quite a bit of pink. Pink and purples do fine for me. This one went for 11 plus shipping, so $20 shipped. Reseller Tom says, best in the game. How's the new computer? Now, Tom, I didn't get the new computer yet. The video that I made after the live that was shaky was I edited it on iMovie. Well, I got my Mac back to spec, what it needed to be. If you guys do Hackintosh, that's pretty much what happened. My friend's like a whiz with it, and I am not. So he helped me get my computer restored to its original, operability. Is that a good word? And I got my credit card in. So if you guys didn't know, I got a credit card. It's the Chase Inc. Business Preferred. And if you spend $15,000 on that card in 3 months, they give you $1,000 bonus cash. So once that card came in, which it can take 1 to 3 weeks to get the card in. So you actually start the day you press the button, but you don't start spending until you get the card because you have to verify it. So I dropped the money on the MacBook Pro. I got the M2 with the second bump for the chip, not the Max, but like the one right below the Max, because there's 2 different ones. And then I ended up going with 1 terabyte hard drive and the 16 gigs. So that was very expensive. And then the reason I got that business card, though, is if you guys end up getting an LLC or say you don't think you need one, getting a business credit card, you can get some of them offer, like the one I just talked about, the Business Preferred for Chase Inc. I get 3% on shipping labels. So every $100 I spend on shipping labels, you get $3 in the cash back. Now I spent 50 grand last year on shipping labels, and I was getting 1.5% cash back. So now I'm going to double that, but I'll probably even ship more this year. So, and you build a business credit, which is different than your personal credit. It's just, there's a lot of benefits to businesses. It's just best to talk to a tax person and see if it makes sense for you to do. But yeah, there's a lot of ways to get it. So yeah, that computer, Tom, is coming in the middle of July, and I am super stoked for it. Like, the iMac I have is fine, but like I don't know. I'm a little stoked because mainly the money that's paying for that is YouTube content money, things like that, bonus cash from credit cards and things like that. Yeah, so it's a very, very cool thing for me. Now this shirt, I want to talk about this one. Is Brian Roning, he may not be in the chat. Brian Roning told me about the Croft and Borrow quick dries. He's got a YouTube channel as well, trying to help it out. And Tom has a YouTube channel who he's almost I think you're almost monetized, or at least almost to the sub count of 1,000. But this Croft and Borrow quick dry, I paid $5.99 for this. It's a solid gray. It sold for $19.99 plus $8.99 shipping. So $30 almost on the Croft and Borrow quick dry. Quick dry just means it's vented in the back like your PFGs. So, okay, it's a 2XLT. If it was a large, I don't know if I would spend that much, but the quick dries are $25 to $32 about for the quick dries. Very, very cool. Brian Roning, thank you for that, man. I laughed at him a lot because he lives in a place where the thrifts are like a little bit more expensive than mine, and he had to dig into some of these brands to try to find the profit, and this was one of the ones he found some profit in, and he's been selling them like crazy. Okay. Vicky Bluebird says, I still prefer the flat-rated padded mailer if something is over £1. I don't have to worry about it breaking open like the cardboard. They cost $8.30 as opposed to $7.60. So that's a 70-cent different. Okay. The thing about it, Vicky, is if you put the one tape over the seal, it doesn't rip open. I've had some that look beat up a little bit, but like, yeah, I think they're just fine. But to each their own. 70 cents is 70 cents. If you're only doing a few, I guess that's fine. But 70 cents times what 100 is that? I don't want to say $70. Is it $70? 100, 2 zeros, 00. 70 cents, 00. Is it 70? Yeah, probably. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of money. Like, if you're doing a big volume of stuff. All right. Let's see. Yeah, so here's another pink Ralph Lauren. This one did not sell for much money. I don't know why this one didn't sell for that much money. Usually when I see a really low sale on a Ralph Lauren, I usually think it's because there's a flaw, which, trust me, I pick up things with flaws by accident quite often. Not like, I don't know, probably like 1 to 2 every 100 items will have like a flaw that I missed in the store. Because like the lighting's not great, but it went for 18 shipped. But yeah, it's not ideal, but it is a pink one. So it's another pink Ralph Lauren that sold. That unwrapping is the honeymoon night. The unwrapping is the honeymoon night. Unwrapping. I don't know, man. What are you talking about? The unwrapping. Lost track. Okay, here's the one I wanted to talk about next. Eat Slip Thrift says, what do you recommend on how to start inventory number system when you didn't start from the beginning? Yeah, no, trust me, I'm the same way. So are you saying all the inventory you have is just somewhere? No custom SKU filled out on your listing? Because if that's the case, if it's not that much, I would start inventorying it now. Or maybe you don't even have to, right? Or you don't want to. Just set it aside. Get a box like these or just any type of like narrow box. It depends on what you're selling. If it's all clothes, these narrow boxes from Uline do well. Just start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what I used to do was there's these stickers and I would just hand write it each time, custom 1 stick, 2 stick. And then eventually I got to the point where I print them out. And if you guys are wondering about that, I'll pitch Brian again just because he's starting YouTube and trying to get back to it, but he's going to make a video about using Avery labels and how to print with his Rolo. Or he may have a Dymo or Rolo, I don't know, but he prints them out custom with Excel and things like that. Because you can buy custom labels labeled from 0 to like 1,000, maybe even 2,000, but I did not find any past 1,000, and then I had to make them myself. And I do them different. I don't use Avery. I customized and did it myself, but that is what I would do. So you want to just number them and then have them in a file system so that you can take the other ones and put them behind it. And then when you condense down after things sell, you get the next box and put those behind that first box. That's how you do that. And I got to do that in the next week, and it's going to be brutal because I have a lot of boxes, a lot of items. Mama Bear Stuff says, how much is your shipping policy going to change with the new Ground Advantage rolling out on the 7th? I'm going to keep the same shipping policy just because I don't really want to make a drastic edit to it. And I don't think people will pay much more than $8.99. Like I could maybe change it to $9.99, but I don't know. I think I'm already kind of pushing the bill a little bit on it. Now, you can't really do nothing, right? Like if the post office goes up and that's still the cheapest one, like you kind of got to use them. But maybe just price your items $1 higher, than you would. Like I have price buckets, $6.99, $9.99, $12.99, $15.99, $19.99, $24, $29, so on and so forth. Maybe I bump it up $1 each one. I don't know. So haven't really gotten that far. I don't really consider that stuff. My main focus is finding items that sell for sure on eBay within like a few months. This brand here is called Loudmouth Golf. Now, Loudmouth, I've never picked up before. This was the first time. These are just some green plaid, green, white, and black plaid, a little bit of blue on it. It's got like in the inside waistband of the chino shorts or golf shorts, whatever. There's a like a mouth logo, and it's like open. It says Loudmouth. So these are actually pretty in demand, and they sold for $24.95 plus $8.99. So like $30-something on these. And I had them priced higher. Like I may have been able to get like 40 or 50, but I felt like it was a fair offer. So definitely look out for that. Get some water. I feel like if I drink from that bottle too fast, it like spills off like my face because the thing is too big, like a little spigot. I have to be like careful. But yeah. And I'm going to sell this iMac that I'm using. I don't know. My friend's going to buy it from me, the one that like fixed it up, because it is kind of rigged up a different type of way for like a casual user. This one right here is Wyoming Traders. Wyoming Traders is a cowboy brand. This is actually like a beige vest canvas. I used cowboy in the title. I used rancher, Western. It went for $26 plus $9, so $35. And I paid, I think vest in my thrift stores, at least the Goodwill where I got this from, it's $1.49 per vest. And this had stains on the front and back. If you find one in good condition, you could probably get closer to like $65. So it's going in here. We're gonna pack it up, ship ship it out. There we go. Yeah, cowboy stuff goes for good money, guys. I love finding the Western stuff. And what's that TV show? The Yellowstone? I think I saw Yellowstone in the title of some of the best when I was looking up the comps on this because I don't find it very often. I think people are using Yellowstone, like try to get some more searches. Okay, now, do you guys remember, or no, you don't remember, but I put in my Instagram, I got this basketball jersey. It's got like a Miami Vice style. It's a Miami jersey. I can't pronounce the guy's name on it. It's very difficult. A gentleman from my town, I actually met him at a car dealership whenever I was getting my oil changed. And I was telling him and this other salesman about my business and stuff. And he gave me a call like a week later, 2 weeks later. He said, I got some clothes. He brought in 20 items. I ended up buying 5 of them for $24. And this one sold for $60 plus $8.99 shipping. It was new with tags. I priced it for $100 plus shipping, and I accepted the first offer of $60 to come in. So that's crazy, and that's why the deal with the buy-sell trade is so important to my business here on eBay. It's just tremendous. Like to him, that jersey means nothing. Like he's had it for years. He doesn't even probably like the team or the player anymore or whatever, and it just needs it gone. So he was more than happy to take that money, and then you sell it online for $70 almost. So and then the other 4 items, it's already clearly profit after this one. And I didn't know. I don't sell a lot of jerseys, but when I looked up comps, they seemed okay, right? But having new with tags changes everything. It really increases the value on clothing. Here's a Patagonia piece. This is like it's like a lightweight snap shirt for Patagonia. And man, I think it was priced at like $4. It was crazy. My friend Cynthia, she's in the bigger cities that I go to thrift. We always see each other at the same thrift store. And she said, yeah, the lady that just doesn't give a, whatever about pricing worked today because she just priced everything at $2.99, $3.99. And like, those are the days you can clean up. It usually happens like once a month. But that's how I got this one. It sold for $25 plus $9, so $34 on the Patagonia snap shirt. Typically, like their cotton button-ups and stuff, not that much value in the Patagonia. But that was like a performance one, lightweight, really nice. Yeah, Patagonia, it's the outerwear is what you want. You guys know that. Shouldn't even have to mention it. It's funny too. Now that I created a child, I see kids stuff. Like I got a size 8 Patagonia like blue quarter zip, and I just have it in a clear bag, like sealed, just waiting for my son to be big enough to wear it. And it's a kid's 8, so it's gonna be years, but he's gonna have a really cool Patagonia piece to wear to school. And maybe maybe I should just sell it, make like $40 is what those go for, I think. But I don't know, man. He's going to have the coolest stuff. My son's going to have all the clothes, all the shoes, and they're all going to be thrifted. But he's going to be able to have a big selection because I don't know if you guys did this growing up, but there was a time where I only had 3 pairs of pants to wear throughout the school week. So I would wear, obviously Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but then Thursday I would wear Monday's pants, and then Friday I would wear Tuesday's pants. And then the next week I would rotate one of those Monday, Tuesdays to the Wednesday pants slot to only wear once. And yeah, I was like embarrassed about that kind of stuff. And I don't, when you're a kid, you're always like worried about what other people think, it seems like, or at least I was. But my kid, he's not going to have to deal with that because he's going to have a bunch of stuff. To wear. But yeah, there's the whole upward mobility, right? Like you want to make more than your parents did and your kids make more than you did and be more successful. But then I think it also comes to the point where I was talking to my friend about this, where he's got a lot of wealthy friends, families. He said, yeah, a lot of them have a nest egg, like the trust or whatever, and they get the monthly payments through college and they never feel that like back against the wall, like hitting ground, hitting bottom and having to build yourself up. And I think the resilience that's built in those situations is very important for a man, or I guess a woman too. But I think it's a very important thing. It's almost like a survival instinct of like, I have to do something to make some money or else I'm going to be like in a much worse place. So I don't want to set my son up for like too nice of a upbringing as far as like comfortability, but I don't want to just throw him to the wolves either. Like, I don't want him working some of the jobs I had to work because they're honestly some of them are dangerous. And, I could have easily I could have fallen off framing a house, and like broken my neck or back or leg. And I wouldn't want any of that for him, but I can kind of lead him in the right direction without giving him too much money, I think. So we'll see. I don't know how you guys think about that. I think about it all the time. So this is a Adidas XL short sleeve polo. Went for $19 shipped. A lot of the Adidas stuff I spend $4 or less on. Even if it's at $5 or $6, I really lean against it. But $4 or less, it seems like it's fine. It's weird how $1 makes the difference, but that's kind of the margins, They're just really tight. All right. We are making our way through. Here's like a break-even polo. The Oakley polos, the hydraulics, they seem like really good branded stuff. This one was super sun-faded, so it only went for like 13 shipped. So that's like a break-even type thing for me. But I didn't realize how sun-faded it was. Sun-faded, you'll see on golf polos that the top and the back are just like way lighter than the bottom. And it's not like an ombre situation. It's like this clearly was worn too many times. And the material just didn't hold up to the sun. So definitely avoid that stuff. And the SKU number is 6,099. Like I'm currently at like 17,000. So this thing sat in my store forever. And it's finally getting out of there. And I'll end up making like my pretty much break even on this. It's crazy. But if I wouldn't have sold it, I would be out $4, right? So it's best to make the sale. You buy the label, you get the 3% on the shipping label with the new credit card, which I hope everything transferred correctly. I think I would have got an error by now if it didn't. But yeah, you got to be careful with those credit cards. If you're doing a lot of credit card, you call it churning. Like you open a credit card, you hit the bonus points, and then you stop using it. Sometimes if you have existing things on there and you don't pay it, you'll get the penalty and stuff. So you got to kind of be careful. But yeah, the Chase Ink Business Preferred is a $95 yearly cost for that one, but it's well worth it. Reseller Som says credit hacking, good job. Yeah, definitely take advantage of them points, man. Rummage for Riches says, I use the Game Pass app to watch all the games. Funny thing is I don't follow players or stats, just enjoy watching the game. I do root for our Titans when they play. Yeah. That's good. Some people just like the sport. But, Reseller Tom says, I sold a Polo Ralph Lauren with a Gothic P patch, sold in 30 minutes, 2XL, and a purple. I probably got destroyed slipping. I mean, dude, a Gothic patch? Like, I've never even seen one of those. Yeah, it's tough, and it happens. You'll just kind of have to know for next time. If you can't find an accurate comp on something that's, like, super cool and rare, just set it to the side, kind of take some time to think about it, and then maybe figure out if you can get, the most money for it. But still good, though. I mean, Vicky says, most of my shipping is under £1, so I just use first class poly mailers. Well, I hope you're using GyroPack. Use my code, get 10% off. But it's actually like, it sounds like an annoying shout out to use the code, but it's the best deal out there and the best bags out there, like from what I found. So it only makes sense to get it as cheap as you can. And you can get any color you want. Anthony Rivers says, I love Loudmouth. Just hard to find. But yeah, that was a good find. Funny thing is, after watching you for a while, I look at Polo Ralph Lauren differently at the thrift these days. Yeah, definitely with Polo Ralph Lauren, it's definitely flooded, but it has a ton of sales, even though there's a ton listed. Try to stay away from the faded out color stuff, unless it's Made in USA can do okay. But yeah, just try kind of look at the tags and start figuring out what color sizes work the best. And yeah, you'll make plenty of money. But I try not to spend more than like $5 on them. Sometimes I'll spend more, but typically I can get them really cheap though. A lot of people can't get them that cheap. So yeah, it's a very powerful company for sure. I think we're gonna get through all these today. This is an Abercrombie and Fitch. It went for $739 plus $9. Not very good. And this one had a skew in the 6,000s as well. So the rest of the items coming are from like the older part of the inventory, meaning they just needed to be sold. There's definitely some that made some money, but this one didn't make much. And it was a slim. It's like one of those things, like when I start seeing these older SKUs, the items that took way too long to sell, closer to 6 months to sell, I start like taking notes like right now. Okay, the next one coming up is a Nike tee. This is just a dry fit red. It sold for $12 ship. Now I pay less than $2 for t-shirts, but at 12 ship, like that only leaves a couple bucks. But then the next one is an Alan Flusser. Alan Flusser is not a very powerful brand, but it's a 2XL green blue plaid, and it sold for $10.56 plus $8.99. So $20 on the Alan Flusser, which sometimes I get that for Ralph Lauren. So you kind of got to know, but Ralph Lauren, you know, a 2XL you can get closer to like 25, but on the Alan Flusser it has to be a 2XL just to get the 20. But an Alan Flusser in a medium may not sell at all. And those are the types of things you kind of got to understand if you're running the volume game, because I don't have the luxury to find just good items. I can't be at the thrift stores very early because I'm too far away, and I can't make that trip multiple times a week. It's just not fair to my family, and it wouldn't be great. Now, if you know Randy worked full time, and I trusted her to, I do trust her to ship, but like she was used to shipping every day, photos like she was used to doing pretty much everything I do, all that every day, then maybe I would take like a 3-day trip, right, and go source and hit those stores. But at the same time, a 3-day trip, you have to have 3 routes because it's hard to hit 2 routes in 2 days, or the same store in 2 days. Sometimes they don't restock. But it may make sense to go Wednesday and Friday. That's a possibility too. Yeah. So there's the Alan Flusser. Yeah, so it's just this type of tight plaid, gingham plaid, people call it. I think that's what it's called. And it went for 10 ounces. So pretty light. And there we go. All right. Eat Slip Thrift says, yeah, I sell clothing. I have 300 items in my store and have it sorted in bins by type of clothes, but I need to start a number system for sure. Yeah, you're right at the point, 300 items where it's getting to be a lot. So I would absolutely start the numeric stuff. You just got to figure out where to get the labels. If you have a Rolo or a Dymo, I would suggest printing them yourself. You just have to figure out how to use Excel plus Word to print the mailings for labels on Word. But you gotta use the Excel file to get them all on there, and then you can just print them out. It takes a little bit of work. I got a video where I explain it. Problem is I forgot what video it is, so I'm sorry. Brian, like I said, Brian Roning, he's got a YouTube channel. He sells clothes, not quite as much as me, but he's selling out of an apartment, so it's pretty great to see how he condenses down. Like everything is just tight. Like his whole business is in one like room, pretty much. But he's going to do a video about Avery labels if you want to go that route, which might be easier because the deal with Avery labels is Microsoft has the Avery labels sizing in it. I bought custom SKU or custom 4x1 labels from Uline. I bought 22,000 of them for $140, but then I had to tell Microsoft the custom size. And it is difficult to do. It took me like 3 hours to figure it out. And then I didn't write the notes down. So then it took me like 45 minutes the second time I had to print labels. And now I have a document that shows exactly what to do. So, but if you haven't done it and you just read that document, it's still a little confusing, but yeah, you're going to have to figure out a way to print the labels for sure if you want to go that route. But yeah, 300 items, you need a better system than just throw it in a bin because it's a shirt, you know. Because the time you save when you do it correctly, it'll really save you a bunch of headache and time, and you won't lose very many items. Like I occasionally have an item that I can't find, but it's usually because it's returned and then it's relisted, but then I don't update the custom SKU on the relisted one, so it's filed in what the SKU was on it. It's a whole thing that makes me not even want to relist when a return comes. It makes me want to just reprocess when a return comes, just because it'll eliminate all chances of error. It just, you lose the time of that listing, I guess, which isn't very much time. But here's a Ralph Lauren quarter zip. This one did not go for much. It was $18 shipped, but it's a lightweight one. So they have heavier ones. This one's a lighter one. And, not much money here. The quarter zips in Ralph Lauren really drive me insane because some of them I've gotten, some of them I've gotten like $30, or $40, and then others I've gotten like 18. So a lot of it has to do with color and size. Some of like the purples in big sizes, or even the browns, can go for decent money. Like the blues seem to be some of the worst ones. I don't know. Maybe because it's too common and the purples are uncommon, so it increases the value as possible. Oh, jeez. Oh, no. Dude. I have not sold much today. It's got to be the holiday weekend. But Ben says, for my first time at full-time reselling, I ran out of money for food. I'm not laughing at you. It's just the situation of like, come on, you got to have food. But yeah, it's you got to be able, okay. So when I was full-time, like I made $15 an hour, right? But I live in an area where I bought my house in 2016, my wife and I. So like that's, it's value double what it was then. And when I was reselling part-time, I was making about 60% of my full-time income, like doing it part-time. And then when I quit my job, I was making close to exactly what I was making, which it's not a lot, 15 is $30K a year. So I knew when I quit my full-time job, I'd still have what I would have had, had I just had my full-time job, which I had that job at like $12, $13, $14 an hour, and then was finally at 15. So you really just got to understand your bills, man. And food is up there on things you got to figure out, but that sucks, dude. It sucks. But I'm sure you learned a lot of good lessons though. You said that was in 2015. People would sell the lie that this job was passive income. It's not. It's hard work. No, I've found a couple of passive income opportunities, but you still have to front load some work, and then the passivity of it is like, it's there, but it's not like I can't live off of the passive income from like Amazon influencer, for instance. If I made a video about this Nalgene, right? Like, hey, this is a great Nalgene. It's got the ounces here. You guys can fill up your water. You can track whatever, how much you drink. It doesn't fit in cup holders, so don't buy it if you want to put it in your car cup holder. So if I make that video, it takes 10 minutes, start to finish, edit, thumbnail, upload. Maybe I make like 20 cents every time it sells, but I'll continue to make that 20 cents forever as long as the item's sold. That is a form of passive income, but you still got to do the work up front. Reselling, if you sell it once and you don't have a replenishable, that's it. You got to do all the work to sell it again. So it's not passive at all. Yeah, the money comes in when you sleep, but like you've already done the work ahead of time. So sorry you fell for that, Ben. I got this. It's CU Wesley, which is like a church junior college. I got this in Oklahoma for $1 at the thrift store. I tried scraping it off, but it was really on there, so I just left it. All right, here is a pair of jeans. Hang on. Oh, my nose, dude. Oh. My dad and grandpa smoked like 3 cigars a piece, and I used to do the whole cigars and cigarette. I used to do tobacco, chew tobacco, cigarette. I used to do a lot of tobacco. I love tobacco, nicotine and all that. I love it. But they smoked 3 cigars a piece yesterday, and just the secondhand of it just jacked my nose up. But he fed me for free, so it's worth it. And he gave me some beer, which is fine. My nose is messed up, though. Okay, this is NYDJ jeans. This is Not Your Daughter jeans. If you guys are in the jean category or the women's jeans category, this is one of the ones you can find all the time. You do have to be careful, though, because they wear on the inside thighs quite often because there's elastane in them. This is the Amy skinny jeans. Now, skinny jeans are not popular. When I got into jeans, women's jeans, I think it was about 2.5 years ago, and I was selling a lot. These still sold for $12 plus shipping. So like $21 for me, all in on these, is what I made. And, I probably spent a couple bucks, So, and it's a size 6 at that. Here's the problem, though. Sometimes they're under a pound. This one's going to be over a pound, just barely. So that kind of hurts with the sale. But yeah, women's jeans, I think, is a pretty strong category. Pretty strong, but they did take a while to sell. Yeah, Y-Gal is asking or telling Eat Sleep Thrift just to start with the number, like a brand new number. So yeah, that's an easier way to do it. That's how I did it. But it is hard because 300 items could take you a while to sell. So yeah, you could do it either way, but it's going to take you some time. But once you get it fixed, you're golden. It only takes once to get it set up and you're good. And then hopefully you're good for a while and not have to do it. Because the thing is, I've had to change my inventory, I think 3 times before the one I have now. And it was brutal each time. It was brutal each time. Okay. Next up, we've got some Travis Matthew golf pants. That's the logo right there at the end. These are beige, and they are over a pound. Travis Matthew is really good, though. These sold for $17.95 plus $8.99. So that's 18 plus 9 is $27 on the Travis Matthew pants. Their shorts don't do as well. Their shirts are kind of hit and miss because some of their polos are new ones. Some of them are older ones. Some of them have prints on them that do okay. But I struggle sometimes with Travis Matthew polos. Sometimes I undersell them. There we go. Get that bad boy packed up. Looks like I'm going to get through these today. I haven't been getting through all the shipments because I've had a ton, but I had much less this time. But yeah, 48 people, 27 likes. If you guys were drawn in because of the thumbnail of me going through the big haul, I'll briefly mention it just because that might have drew you in. But essentially, I had a person call me for my business card that they got from a consignment store because I dropped off a bunch of cards at a couple consignment stores because I was very nice to them and they decided to pass the word on. Her husband had passed. I got to go look at the closet and all the stuff. And mainly she wanted it to be donated if I couldn't give her money for it. So I found 26 items that I know will sell on eBay. I gave her $100 for the 26. And then I took all the rest of them and it's all in the back of my Civic. So what I'm going to do is see if there's any friends, family members that want any of the clothes. Randy, maybe her husband or not husband, her boyfriend and stuff may want it. And then I may look to see if there's anything to sell out of that pile, but then the rest she wanted me to donate if I couldn't sell it. And I said, okay, so get it donated to her. I was able to do the favor of grabbing all that stuff and taking it out so she can just have her closet back and really kind of move past her husband passing. And it was, I wasn't going to make a YouTube video about it. It's just too emotional, too close to home for that kind of thing. But I just want to let you know the whole deal about processing. It took an hour all in. Now, that was me looking through it. I took it at like a thrift store that you would go through every single item because there was a total of maybe 150 items. So I made sure to look at each brand. I did what I normally do. If I knew it was a seller, I put it to the side. If it wasn't, I put it over. I just moved on. So once I had all the sellers, I knew about how much money I could give her. And then you just want to kind of gauge it, is there anything here you want to keep? She had already given the stuff to her kids and stuff that they were going to keep. And she's going to do a quilt out of some of the other stuff or a blanket. So it was good, definitely a good pickup. And the idea is with the buy sell trade is to have 2 or 3 of those a week and then not have to go to Dallas as much. to find items. So here we have a pair of silver Suki Capri jeans. Now Capris are not the look anymore, but these went for $13.67 plus $8.99 shipping. This was back in the days when I was getting all the women's jeans, and silver Suki in women's is a pretty good one. There's ones that are a lot better than this one for sure. Boot cut, like some of those other wide leg, flare leg are going to be good, but these still sold for a good amount of money. I mean, I'm happy with it. And it was right under a pound. So that's good too. Miss Lachey says, FY, some items over a pound can go regular priority mail for $7.20, cheaper than flat rate. I'm glad you pointed that out, Miss Lachey, because I had another viewer say the same thing, and I've been starting to look before I just automatically grab that flat rate envelope. And it's mainly if they're in that closest zone, I think. Either the first or second zone, it can be $7.20, yeah. So very good there. Okay. This one right here is Quicksilver. It's like a nasty looking yellow and beige color plaid. It went for $9 plus $9, so $18 shipped on the Converse. Quicksilver. I really don't spend more than $3 on Quicksilver. Ben says, what do you estimate the average sale price to be of 26 items you salvaged? Salvage. So those, let's see. So I would kind of just say what it normally is. So like $23, $22, $23. There was no massive wow item. There was a pair of Tony Lama boots. Those will go for like $60, $50 to $60. There are 2 pairs of Justin boots that'll go for like $35 to $40. And then the rest of it is like just more of the common stuff that I sell all the time. So there were 2 pairs of Wrangler cargo camo shorts, green. So those are whatever. They'll sell for like $18 to $24. There was like 8 Ralph Lauren pieces. One of them was an all over print shirt, a short sleeve polo. That should go for some pretty good money, like maybe 30. But the rest of them are just like plain colors, long sleeves. I got a few pairs of Wrangler, not the 13 MWZs, but the Wrangler, I think it was 965 DENs. Those are just a different cut, made in USA. So I got 4 pairs of those. So that's a thing. Amir says, Gyro Pack doesn't ship to Canada. Sad face. Oh, man. I tell you what, I will email them and ask them where he at with the Canadian shipments, because that's a shame. And if you guys didn't know, Gyro Pack is a company that I'm partnering with, and I have the links. The reason I'm partnering with them is because, one, they have cheaper poly mailers than anybody on Amazon and eBay that I've found, cheaper than Shop for Mailers, and it's actually really good quality. And you can get any color you want, which is really great. They got black, blues, purples, greens, pinks, beige, like all kinds of colors. And you can use Taylor 10 to get 10% off. So their price for 1,000 poly mailers was $59.99. So you get 10% off that. Just use the link Taylor 10. And my wife's asking if I'm almost done. So I am almost done. I got one more shirt. It's another Carhartt. This one likely had a flaw on it because it sat around too long. It went for $6 plus shipping. So 15 shipped on the Carhartt short sleeve button shirt. So Ben, Ping, hello. Hi, nice to see you. Ben, you're curious to see whether them bringing you items will affect your average sale price, profit per item. Okay, so here's the whole thing about it. It's very challenging for me to get 26 sellable items on eBay in my local thrift stores. I can usually do it once a week at 2 different ones, and that's it. To have one at a house, like a thrift, for an hour and to get that items is great. Now, you mentioned salvaging. The ones I picked out, I didn't really salvage. Those I just picked. The ones that I was given to donate, that she said, you can sell them and then donate the rest, that I didn't pay anything for, those are going to be like scraping from the bottom. And what I mean by that is maybe there's a Joseph A. Bank long sleeve button shirt there that sells for 15 shipped at 0 cost of goods. Now, that's still like an $8 profit. But your average sale price does lower because of that. But your average cost was nothing. So it will affect it. But the time I saved to get the 26 items without having to go drive to Dallas, my sourcing days are 15-hour days. So, and I get anywhere from 150 to 250 items in 15 hours. And that's it. So to get 26 plus the additional ones, which I'm going to end up donating probably most all of them. But that is the power of the buy sell trade aspect of saying, hey, people, I am the guy who buys the men's clothes in this town. You can try to consign it, but there's only one men's consignment store in town, and they do mainly women's, a little bit of men's. And the rest of the people have to donate it or sell it themselves, and nobody wants to do that. So that's where I come in. And like I said, if I can get a few of those a week, my business is going to increase. It just has to. All right. 12 ounces. So we are going to finish this up. We have 47 people, 27 thumbs ups. I really appreciate you guys hanging out on the Sunday, the 4th of July weekend. Please eat a lot of good food, drink a lot of good drinks. Do not drink and firework. Do not blow up anything or blow yourself up. Please be safe out there. Have, smart decisions and have a lot of fun. So I appreciate you guys. The next video I put out, I'm not really sure what it's going to be about, but I will come up with something. Maybe put some suggestions in the comments or hit me up of what you want to see. But yeah, I appreciate it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.